Christmas is almost here, and we all know that a lot of people out there don't have a lot of cash to get good Christmas gifts, and there are actually still some people out there who don't even have a PC at all. They have kids who'd love to have a PC to play games, but hey, unfortunately they can't afford it, and that's what today's video is really all about. The system I'm going to be presenting today is actually a gift for some friends of mine in Washington. They live in Tacoma, Washington, and this family really has no money whatsoever. They have kids, like I said, they want to play PC games, and there's no way on God's earth they could ever afford to get anything really good. So I decided to get with a few companies and build this system and just give this to them for Christmas. They have no idea. They never even watched one YouTube video in their entire life because, well, they don't have a computer. Now, before I jump into this and talk about all the specs inside of this computer and why I think this build is actually really cool for you folks out there, it's just a build idea, I want to say right off the bat, we didn't consider pricing this whatsoever. I grabbed the best parts that I had sitting in my house. I contacted Wes from NZXT, David from Kingston, a few of my friends, and got parts for this build. Now, before we totally jump into this build though, let's check out a word from today's sponsor, CORSAIR. Having a pair of headphones is crucial to that all-night gaming sesh, and the CORSAIR HS50 stereo gaming headset has the comfort, sound quality, and durability that you'll need to game all night. With adjustable ear cups and plush memory foam for exceptional comfort, the HS50s also include the legendary CORSAIR build quality, featuring rugged metal structural components to ensure long-term durability. They also include specially tuned 50mm neodymium speaker drivers to bring you superior sound quality with a wide range and accuracy. The unidirectional microphone is easily detachable and is also optimized to reduce ambient noise for enhanced voice quality. The HS50s are also Discord certified, so you know your mic and audio drivers have been tested and evaluated for crystal clear communication and outstanding sound. The volume and mute controls can be easily accessed on the right side of the ear cup for easy adjustment on the fly. So if you're looking for an affordable, high-quality pair of headphones, give the CORSAIR HS50 stereo gaming headsets a try. You won't regret it. Alright, so if you're looking for some kick-ass headphones, check those out. Now let's jump into the build. Build idea for Christmas as a gift. That's why I titled this video, The Best Christmas Gift Ever. I guarantee when these people get this, and by the way, I'm not just giving them this computer. I'm giving this computer, these speakers right here, a matching red and black keyboard from CORSAIR, matching red mouse. Everything's going to be pretty much totally red themed. Now, probably some of you people out there up here are going to go, but Elric, you're using a CPU from Intel. Yeah, I am. I'm using an Intel CPU. Am I a traitor to the cause? Am I from the dark side? No, this build just came together so awesome. So look at the build itself. Now, this thing is completely, utterly clean. You guys can see the design. Honestly, Anthony did such a wonderful job on building this computer. There's no restriction to the airflow whatsoever. And I know a lot of people commented, on this power supply when we did the unboxing. They're like, oh man, you know what? It's not modular. That power supply sucks. Now, even though I don't agree with that, I will say that a modular power supply would have been probably a little bit easier in the build than the one that we use. It was a little bit hard. Anthony was like going, trying to get that thing in there, but you guys can see the end result. This thing is totally clean. And actually all the parts that are pretty much using this are all top of the line stuff. And you guys know that AMD video cards are still off the hook in price. This is a VEGA 64 card in this build, by the way. My only one I had until I got a brand new one today from Power Color. So thanks a lot to Dom for providing us that sample. But now let's move on and let's talk about actually all the different parts that are used in this build. And I think at the end of the day that even though I know a lot of these parts are unaffordable, you guys can change out the parts to whatever you want. This is just a theme. I'm calling it the Red Barchetta. So that's why, red themed, Red Barchetta. If you guys don't know it, it's a Rush song. It's a pretty badass song. So check it out, you rock fans out there. But everything about this thing is high end. It's completely silent. It's running right now. The microphone is just above my head and you guys aren't hearing the system. So it runs completely, utterly silent as well. When you play games and the system heats up, the video card fan does increase and you can hear a little bit of sound from it, but nothing like the old days of lawn mowing. So first up, let's talk about the case. It's the NZXT H700i mid-tower case. This thing is really cool. You guys can see that it's totally clean inside. There's not anything in the way of doing your build. Plenty of room for just about any motherboard you want to put in there. And for those people out there who like the Ferrari or the AMD or whatever you want to call, the black and red type of theme build, this will definitely suit you. Plenty of room for your video cards, everything inside. Cable management is also easy on the back. You guys can see that everything fits back here without a problem. Building the system, like I said, the only really caveat to putting it together was trying to just get the power cables up to where we wanted the video card, and that was a little difficult with a non-modular power supply. But all in all, this case is pretty badass. It's unique. I mean, look, it looks killer. For the motherboard, I wanted something high-end, but still something that looked really, really nice. And on my shelf, I found an ASUS ROG MAXIMUS 7. And this motherboard has a lot of features. It's still DDR3, it's LJ1150, but you guys know the ROG series of motherboards. They're totally made for overclocking. They're totally made just, on the top of the line stuff for all your video cards. This one has protection and stuff on it, like armor, so it just looks really excellent inside this build. There's a lot of these on sale places, but they're kind of expensive. You could definitely change out the motherboard to something cheaper if you wanted to. The CPU inside this build is the Intel Core i7-5775C. Standard clock is 3.3 GHz and the boost clock is at 3.7 GHz. Now, keeping that CPU cool is the NZXT Kraken X62 all-in-one cooler. Now, this is a 280mm CPU liquid cooling system, and it really does a great job keeping the CPU cool. You guys will see when we show you the benchmarks that it doesn't get hotter than 50 Celsius even under full load. I know some people might say, hey man, why didn't you use red memory or black memory? But I gotta be honest with you, I really like the white memory. I feel that just pops in this build, so when we were doing the build at first we had a different color in there, but when I saw how the white popped, I just decided, hey, let's just keep the white memory in there. I know some people might disagree, but I think it looks great. Now this memory is the Kingston HyperX Fury 16GB kit. The kit consists of two 8GB sticks running at 1866 MHz. The main storage drive in the red Barchetta is a Western Digital Black 1TB hard drive. Now, it's a 7200 RPM hard drive that is probably the most common drive in the entire gaming market. Now, the boot drive, obviously, you guys can find a cheaper 240GB SSD, but the Intel 730 series is pretty much the fastest, most reliable, and honestly one of the best made SSDs you can get on the market. And this thing's really expensive, but hey, if you want the absolute best, get the drive with the skull on the side. For the video card, I wanted to get something that matched the system but was still the top of its class. So we chose the Sapphire Radeon RX VEGA 64. 8GB card. This card's currently about $739, but I have heard rumors that prices are supposed to drop within the next month, hopefully before Christmas, because this card is coming in at $739. If you do look hard out there though, you can find one of these cards for $699, so that's about $40 less. For you guys who follow the channel, you may have seen this power supply before because we did an unboxing of this 750 watt power supply a few days back. This is the BitFenix formula power supply. And yes, I know it's not modular, but it did work in the build very well. It's 80+ gold certified. It's about $100, so I hope it works for a really good long time in the red Barchetta. All the fans in this build totally match each other, and that's because they're all from NZXT. And as you guys can hear in the video, they're totally silent even when the system's running. So overall, even though I know for someone out there who's going to build and buy a system, a lot of this stuff in here is just way totally overkill. You can buy much cheaper stuff. I know that anybody can go to PC Parts Picker, choose the absolute cheapest build, take it and put it together. But that's not what this is really all about, because this is a gift. But the theme of the build, the way that it looks, the design of all the fans, the cable management, all of those things are something that anybody out there can emulate. And it should be an inspiration to you seeing this. So for all those people out there going, hey, I can build it cheaper, blah, blah, we know all that. But can you build it this clean and this nice? That's where the real challenge comes in. I mean, I can put a system together, it wouldn't look like this. Anthony is a professional at what he does, and every time he builds a system, honestly, if you guys follow the channel, they just keep getting better and better. So as a theme and all that stuff, this system is really solid. You could build a system that looks almost identical to this, and that would be really cool for you, or you can change out every single solitary part in here and make it your own. So when I do any of these builds, they're really about a theme. We've made some where we said, hey, here's the absolute cheapest video, and I know some people like that, but me personally, I would really rather, if I had my way, build the most outrageous systems in the world. I gotta hand my hats off to Jay-Z, man, because Jay at Jay's 2 Cents is probably one of the absolute best builders there is out there. I wish that I had his skill set for doing that. Anthony does liquid cooling, but he's not at that level. We're still working to get there. Hopefully we will. Now with that said though, let's jump in, and for you people who care about how the system ran, how cool it ran, let's jump into those benchmarks. Let's rock. You guys can see the maximum temperature on the CPU is 50 Celsius and the maximum temperature on the video card is in the mid 80s. All right, so there are the scores. Honestly, give me your opinion down below. If you were a person who didn't have a lot of money and you got an entire system, monitor, keyboard, and all that stuff, wouldn't you feel that that is the best Christmas gift ever? I want to hear your opinions down below, because when I was tying this, I didn't want people to think I was trying to use this clickbait or whatever, but it's really not. I consider this to be the best Christmas gift ever for this family. They're going to be completely blown away by it. And hopefully when it's all said and done, they get hooked up to the internet, I'll be able to hook up with them and then show them and their family actually having fun with this stuff at their house, As of right now, like I said, they don't even have internet, honestly. They don't even have internet whatsoever, so I'm completely blown. But now they'll have a reason to get the internet. And I'm sure once they see something that's awesome show up at their door for Christmas, they'll be completely motivated to do that. I mean, let's face it, you can get internet for like 25 bucks. And I know that those people can at least afford that. So like usual, all these parts will be listed down below that like button so you guys can check them out. You can choose to what you want to, choose what you want to use in your build. I mean, honestly, the case fans, the rad and all that, I mean, those are actually really internal components of this build that you may not want to be changing out. As far as the motherboard, CPU goes in the SSD, and even the video card, you could replace all that with whatever you want inside. You can obviously get a cheaper AMD video card if you're an AMD fan. If you wanted to get a 240 gigabyte hard drive, you could probably find one for probably less than $100 easily these days. Let's just face it, the CPU, you could get a way lower end CPU. So at the end of the day, this is the theme. I want to just point that out. Man, I was force it in your guys' head. It's a theme build and a gift. It's not meant to be the cheapest build in the world, because I get a bunch of comments that always just trip me out. But man, I can go to PC Parts Picker and build something like that. And I know anybody could do that. I could do that. If you guys want to see me do videos like that, please let me know down below. I mean, I can go out and just do builds. Me and Jesus can sit around all day long and just design different builds off PC Parts Picker, and then you guys can build them. But I don't have enough money to buy that many things. Also, for my fans, we are going to do a giveaway for the 12 days of Christmas. I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to find the absolute best way to do these videos. So if Glean or whatever those other things are, I'm going to reach out to other people and get my hand and grip on what these things are. And if there's a better way to do the giveaways, then I'll definitely do them that way. So I'm Eric. You guys been watching Tech and Tomorrow. Peace. Love to see you guys here on the channel.